Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Liquid community. It has been a long time. How has everyone been? Thank you so much for joining X Spaces or live stream spaces number 11, where Chris and I talk about our 1 year in Liquid. 1 year ago, Liquid was launched. Can you guys believe it? Chris and I are still here. So, what's on the table today? The good, the wins, the milestones, the moments that mattered. The bad, what didn't land, what was learned, the ugly, the hard truths said out loud, what's happening at the end of this quarter, Q2, look back at the past 90 days, and what's heading into Q3, where we go next, how fast, and one more thing, a year of building a community that stayed. This is the honest one. Maestro, what's good, bro?
What's good, man?
How are you?
Good, good. Just been building like crazy.
I mean, yeah,
Didn't hardly have any sleep. Woke up like 2 in the morning and then stayed up and then yeah, just uh just been grinding, man. How about you?
same man, same. I was up, God, 2:33, 3:30 in the morning, just cooking as always. Just always here showing up no matter what, just showing consistency. But I'm sure we're both in the same room. But no, good to talk to you, man. So
Mm-hmm.
get this show on the road and let the community know what's good.
Of course, of course.
Awesome. So definitely don't want to start it off in the I don't want to say negatives, nothing negative, right? But let's talk about the good, the wins, the milestones, the moments that mattered. Guys, we made it. 1 year, we did it. We did it. I wish I had a clap emoji, little sound horn going off right now, but we made it, guys. We're 1 year in. As you can see, the market is not looking too hot right now. But again, that's irrelevant. As we said in the past, and we'll say it again, doesn't matter what the market sentiment is. Project Pi Labs was built in the bear market. The best time to build is during the bear market, but the best time to build is also in a bull market, right? There's always going to be noise. There's always going to be something happening. But at the end of the day, the teams that are successful and are consistent and consistently showing up and building, I believe, are the ones to be successful. So yeah, the wins. So what are some wins? Man, there's so many, so many, so many. Past 90 days. Wow. So right now, as you all know, we're at the end of Q2. Last month headed into Q3. I would say some of the major wins, just kind of looking back on it, is so much has happened. Well, for those who don't know and didn't see the live stream, Chris and I did win the very first XTC hackathon. And again, as we alluded and talked about, a lot of the different products that we build are getting absorbed and integrated into Liquid Agent. So the flagship, the things that people talk about, the things that people know, is all integrated into Liquid Agent. So, from my recollection, that's a major win. Not just winning a hackathon, anyone can win, but the very first AI one, Liquid Agent AI, that's huge. And again, it's all about the small details. And Chris and I, that's what we're all about. And the deciding factor, I think it was by 1 point, right, Chris? 1 point.
Yeah, it was like 1 point.
The deciding factor, it was another company. I forgot their name, but it was some DeFi protocol, I think. But the deciding factor was we weren't on localhost, or if it wasn't localhost, I think they had a like a Vercel domain. We actually like bought a domain name and proxied it, and it's live, and people could use it. I don't remember what it was, but I just know we were live. Like you can use a product today, right now. Okay, I think what it was, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't just the URL thing. I think they're still in testnet. I don't remember, but whatever it was, when Chris and I build, we we build in production. Of course, we test it, but it's like we want people to use it to get feedback. Things that happen in a test environment, it's not always going to translate one to one in a real environment. So that was a deciding factor, just to show like the small details. Like if someone were to use that product today, one, they didn't know that was part of a hackathon. Two, they just thought it was a real product, which it was. So that was a deciding factor, and I think the learning lesson there is small details, right? I mean, yes, anyone now with these amazing LLMs could launch any type of website and thing, but there's little things that AI can't really do for you. Maybe it can, I don't know, but it's just creating the domain name, having the .com, a .org, or .xyz, making sure the backend infrastructure is good. But I would say that that was a major one. Second one, Liquid on World. We launched Liquid on World. Chris can talk more about the technicals on that. I believe right now, and I can check. Oh, it's been a minute. So we haven't tweeted about it a while, but right now, Liquid has currently 2,977, so almost 3,000 humans who have used this app, which is amazing. Can you talk a little bit more about what Liquid Bridge is on World and why we built it?
Yeah, so Liquid Bridge on World is essentially it's a USDC bridge. When we first started exploring World Chain, we noticed that World didn't have a bridge where users could, if they wanted to, be able to move their USDC around freely. It was the USDC on World was basically confined to World's ecosystem. So, we took it upon ourselves to build out a bridge that will allow people to, bridge USDC on World to, USDC on AVAX or USDC on Base or, any other chain. The cool thing is that it is gasless on World. World has a pretty amazing ecosystem where they cover the gas, so you don't have to worry about having Ethereum on World. So it made our jobs much easier to build it.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, and it just goes to show, guys, we're chain agnostic. We're not married to any chain. We're visionaries. We believe in the future that blockchain in itself will be interoperable. We're just early to where not all the chains can communicate and talk with each other. Reminds me of the very early days of email. If you didn't, only Yahoo people could send messages to Yahoo, but now it doesn't matter what email domain you have. Anyone, everyone could talk with each other. So I would say that's another win and a milestone. Any other wins and milestones that you can think of, Chris, off the top of your head, besides winning the hackathon, launching Virtual World? Oh, from our last live stream, Soon Pay is live. Feel free to download it, guys. It's live on Android, iOS, and desktop. So SoonPay is live. That's super dope. What's another milestone?
I think going over to Uganda was a pretty big one.
Yeah, I think being in ground, going to Uganda, because again, you'll see a lot of stuff on social media and read whatever you want, see, and read, see, hear, right? But I think as an individual, whoever you are, you need to see it for yourself. Why? Because it's something called perspective versus perspection, right? I think I had it right. Sorry, a little tired, but your point of view is going to be different from my point of view is going to be different from Chris's point of view. So what I see, even though we're in the same area, he will interpret it very very different than I would. And I definitely had a lot of emotions in Uganda, but I didn't know what to expect. I always go into a situation not expecting anything, because if I do have some type of expectation and it doesn't meet it, I get upset. So I just went in there just like, hey, we're just gonna go and go to the mission, do what we had to do, and which was very successful.
Hmm.
I would say I was very surprised at how many people actually had iPhones. You know, Android phones are readily available. They're fairly cheap, but a lot of people had iPhones. I thought that was really interesting. The weather was beautiful. I thought that was interesting. The food was organic. I think what was shocking to me when we went to the grocery store, they actually had a little section called, um,
GMO.
yeah, GMO food. I'm like, what? We don't have that here in the United States. Just comparing. What else? The people were just very nice, and I would say. and this is just specifically for Chris and I, of course, depending on who you are, it was just very in line. It was very nice to see a lot of people that look like us in STEM degrees. You know, me having a background in computer science and Chris having a background in physics. When I was in my computer science undergrad, I was one of maybe three out of all the other races. And everyone there looked like us. It didn't matter what they were learning. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like the small 20 group of people in Web3 blockchain or had some STEM degree, that was the whole entire university for us. So that was very emotional. And it really showed that there's everyone comes to the United States to get a company, create a company, you know, raise capital, but there's so much talent overseas. And no, that was just really, really good to see in Uganda. Definitely going to be visiting again. Don't know when. A lot of stuff happening internally. Don't really like to talk on stuff that isn't solidified yet. Things are still happening. Still no worries on that. Let's see any other milestones. Any other milestones that you can think of, Chris?
I think, I mean, even while being out there, just the mission, going out there to educate students about the importance of the technology, being on stage to talk about what blockchain is and how it can be useful besides crypto. That was very important. Being able to showcase a prototype of land registry or an application that deals with land registry. Um, you know, that's pretty dope considering that Van and I built that within like what, like 5 or 6 hours. So
After the meeting, yeah.
yeah. So that was really cool. I think even leading up before that, I think was going out to New Orleans to go to the conference and just introducing ourselves and showing people like you don't have to like there was a group or a conference where they talked about data centers and how it would take like decades to monetize the data centers so that they could be actually profitable. And Van and I are looking at each other like, well, you could speed that up by running validators. You can speed that up by running, miners or nodes. So it just goes to show like these countries are so far behind when it comes to what they can do to actually speed up the process of monetizing their systems. So I thought that was really good. Definitely thought that was a win. I think a big one for sure is partnering with Circle. A lot came out of that. When I first thought of the Liquid Validator Network, mind you, that was merely a beta. The Liquid Validator Network, for those that don't know, was I was basically taking, like, I had a thought of taking yield from different blockchains and being able to convert all of that yield from validators on different blockchains into USDC, and then being able to disperse the yield to individuals. And so, whether it be Flare or AVAX or Pulse Chain or ETH or, I mean, you name it, any type of validator or staking mechanism, though the layer one asset was converted into USDC and on base, and then it was distributed to individuals that was staking the liquid token. Um, we ran that for a good little minute, but um, I ended up hitting up Circle and talking to them about it, and they hit me up the next day. Was like, yeah, let's get you into the database, and we're now partners with Circle and their alliance, and again, a lot of amazing stuff came out of that, and we're still actively communicating with them to this day.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, and we have a plethora of the milestones. A lot of the stuff we're saying, if you want to reference, you can check our Medium article or our previous post. But yeah, and I think those are some major milestones. I think I would say the most recent milestone as well. Chris, he'll be going out to DC next week with the Stemmer Crypto team, which is dope. I'm not sure if you guys did see our tweet a few days ago. Stemmer Crypto did send out a letter via the Clarity Act, and as you can see, of the 200 plus businesses, of course, we were on there because we partnered with them. What I thought was really interesting, our logo is right in the middle, right smack dab in the middle. So I thought that was really really cool. But yeah, and then I would say again, the moments that mattered is now, right? We're still here again. I can't stress this enough. It's the everything that Chris and I have gone through from building our startup since February 2023, right, Chris? 2022,
Or 2023.
2023 till now. It definitely has been a journey, but the secret to our success and the secret to anyone's success who is an entrepreneur is, well, first showing product market fit, but what's most important is consistency and dedication and not giving up, because it's so difficult. Like, I think social media paints it as this glorious thing, which it has its cons and pros. Of course, it's high risk, high reward. I think the things that it does give you, depending on how you utilize it, is time.
Mhm.
You can use that in any way, shape, or form. I mean, time is energy, and it could be monetary as well. Money, you can exchange money for time, and vice versa. But of course, if you're working a 9 to 5, you're stuck there. And when I say 9 to 5, I don't just mean like a day, like a corporate job. I just meant like a job in general, where you're stuck at whatever domain, whatever it's part time, full time, at that building. If something's happening, you can't leave, so you don't have some of your time is relinquished from that. But yeah, I would say that that's the moment that matters. Again, guys, we're still here, we're still building, we're still cooking, and yeah, excited to show you guys what we have been cooking. The bad, what didn't land, what we learned. Oh man, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. I would say for me, and it's a double-edged sword. Again, I don't really see it as a, well, okay. Like I said, guys, we're here to be honest, right? I would say, the team that we had with us, and we're not gonna point any names, was as amazing as you guys can see. They did amazing on the market, branding and marketing. Chris and I were builders. We can build, as you can see, we build functional products, but we're not marketing. And of course, people have advocated this. Hey, where's the communication? Hey, you need more mods in the server, guys. It's just us. People come and go. It is what it is. When the hard time comes, some people stay. Chris and I are still together. Um, but that's that. I think that's that. I think, and you can't really know or judge people. Like I said, I'm not judging them. Like I said, there, I don't have any issue with anyone that we worked with in the past. It's just when time that good, when time does get tough. At the end of the day, no matter what, whatever you build, you're going to care the most, and not other people are going to care as much. But I'm sure when the market picks back up and everything is quote unquote back to normal, whatever that is, and the market's better, transaction coming through, um, you will definitely see more communication. Again, we're doing the best we can. Again, we are builders. We're actually building. Like, and I told Chris this too. We should definitely do like a day in the life of entrepreneur CEO, because like you can just see what we're doing. Like, guys, I was up till 4 in the morning dealing with a lot of stuff with our partner with SoonPay. Just a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of things that you don't see. And Chris and I would definitely like to show that more uh, with you guys. 9 times out of 10, it's just us sitting on a laptop, just coding and working. My day can be very chaotic. Chris's day can be very chaotic. But I would say that. I would say another thing is what didn't and what we learned. I would say this, and I'm actually going to go back to the moments that mattered. The fact that it's been a year, ironically enough, And if I'm not mistaken, last year this time the market wasn't that good, but we were the number two AI token in terms of like market cap or whatever it was. And I think
Mm.
the reason for that was a lot of different things. One, to me, success is when hard work meets opportunity. Chris and I haven't stopped. The gas has been on the foot has been on the pedal this whole time. Two, during that time, this is where Atlanta, where we're based, was given the number one AI smart city. So we were at the where were we at speaking, Chris? Some
The Biltmore.
the Biltmore speaking. So we live streamed it. We were on stage and we were talking about it. You know, wearing my Coinbase Stanford crypto badge, of course. It's talking about the importance. Also repping my liquid Asian shirt. And I think what didn't land, like I think it intertwines. Timing matters. Timing doesn't matter. And I said like the team like we had was phenomenal. Like we sat down, we came up with the marketing plan. Sorry, we're gonna launch in this day. Granted, you know this was our very first token launch, but very first or not, it's all about timing. And I think a lot of the stuff that we've built and done, timing. I think we learned to like time. So I was discussing with Chris. I felt like if we had to start over again, we would definitely excel a lot faster than what we have been. But of course, I don't take anything for granted. Like I wouldn't go back to change anything because we are where we are. We are who we are because of what happened. And yeah, I'm not sure if you have anything else to say about that, Chris.
Yeah. What didn't land? I think for me, as you know, the CTO, I think it was. I would say it was hard to actually figure out how, like, the direction I really wanted to take this thing. I don't know um, what I would truly call that per se. I mean, I guess just indecisiveness, but for like when we first started Liquid Agent, like we again, it was merely just an internal tool for us to actually be able to, do things faster. And uh, this was like around the time that Bro and
Uh-huh.
not Siri. That was funny. Um, what was the other one that was pretty popular last year?
Oh, I have the logo. I can't think of the name right now.
Eliza OS. So those were like the two main ones that were like really popular. And so I wasn't using those frameworks. I had came up with my own system where I could simply just chat to chatbot, and it will perform different blockchain interactions for me. I thought that by when we launched Liquid Agent, I had all these ideas of how I wanted to go about building Liquid Agent, including using that chatbot interface. But realistically, people still like buttons. People still like to see what's going on, like as far as the numbers and the metrics. But as long as it's simplified and as long as it's easy for people to understand what's going on, of course. And so I would say it took me a little minute to like really understand the direction of how I wanted to take this. When you think of liquid agent, you think of, well, a little agent that will be able to, assist in different ways. It's fluid. It can help in many ways. At least that's how I see it. That's how I think of it. Um, but the mission has always been the same. The mission for Liquid Agent has always been, can a 7-year-old or an 87-year-old use this product? Can a very young person or a very old person use this product? And we're with this product, it has evolved in different ways. But this recent version that I've came up with, I've been reworking the site. Is expected to launch pretty soon. Um, I take that same concept in mind, as well as I think about the fact that there's about 1.3 or 1.4 billion people in the world, adults in the world, that still are unbanked. They don't have access to banks. And so with that, clearly they wouldn't have access to, um, financial hubs or like products that would make it easier for them to, navigate through financial markets, especially in blockchain, which is emerging. So I had to kind of think about that and step back as far as how could I build a product or, yeah, how can I build a product that, take all these things in mind and make it easy for the everyday person to where they go to Liquid Agent, they're comfortable with using it, they understand how it works, you know, they use it and it's just easy, simple as that. So, after all of this, I'll demo the new version of Liquid Agent that I've came up with.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's well said, Chris. Well said. What didn't land? What have you learned? Um, oh, this was very recent. So, this was last Thursday, actually. So, someone, an investor that we had contact with back in 2023, had reached out to me on Telegram, not knowing that this person was actually was not him. What I've learned is do your due diligence, actually go on LinkedIn, because he actually posted on LinkedIn, hey, my Telegram got hacked. Please don't message it. But I don't know how these hackers do it. But at the time, I was actively engaging investors, so I was like, huh, maybe I saw his profile and he hit me up. But anyways, I started talking to him. He ended up sending me a Calendly. The weird thing was the Calendly he sent when I was actually trying to set up the meeting was having errors. I'm like, that's weird. That's red flag number one. Again, when you're so busy doing things, it's just like you see it, but like always being very self cognizant of everything. So I was like, I hit him up, hey, it's not working. It's like, yeah, please try again, and it still didn't work. So like, all right, do you want me to just set up a call? Just set up in the on the calendar? Like, yeah, sure. So we did it, and then I went on the call. He wasn't there. It's like, hey, where were you guys? Oh, there's a time discrepancy. So he then ended up sending me a Teams, and then the Teams link was working. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, this is crazy. But lo and behold, that Teams link was actually like a malware. It was not even a real Teams because it had me download something. And the only reason why I was like, okay, maybe is because I don't really use Teams. So I was like, okay, maybe. And then I was like, something told me like something isn't right. So I actually ended up looking into the thing I had to download. I was like, oh my God, this is malware. So I quickly SSH into my terminal, deleted it, and basically I called Chris. He was at the Atlanta Blockchain Center. I was like, yo, bro, just to be safe, I think we might be compromised, or I think I was compromised. I did have one file that he had gave me that was very sensitive. I was like, bro, you're gonna have to change all the passwords and everything. So he went ahead and what did you change ownership to all the smart contracts and just let him know. So I think one thing to learn is security. Just make sure that if anyone's reaching out to you on any social media platform, even phone calls, they have people literally doing voice changers and whatnot, and spoofing. Got to verify. You have to verify this stuff. So I would say that's something I learned recently. A little scared, but like I said, everything is good. The unfortunate thing is I had just to be even extra safe, because I did chop it off and kill it, because it was a script. Even if I restarted the computer, it would show as like Discord, or it would show like things that weren't it, and it would basically it was a not a keylogger, but it just basically grabbed information. So I wiped my whole OS. I backed up everything as well as I could. I reloaded OS, and I lost very important things. And I'm like, man, this all can have been avoided if I just let my red flags actually double checking. Because after all that happened, again, I went to LinkedIn, saw the investor. He did say it. So I think that's one thing to learn. Again, I'm glad it happened when it happened, and that's why I tell people like it's best to build during the bear, because when the bull market is here, as we all know, there's so much stuff happening, and hacks and people getting drained left and right. But just be self-aware. That's one thing that I actually did learn recently. So that's that. What is next on the agenda on here? I I think after the bad, it was the ugly, right? Let's see here. Yeah, the ugly, the hard truth said out loud. I've said this before, and it makes me so upset. And it could just be my perspective, but it seems like, and again, if we were to do it again, I understand the logic behind it, right? The people, let me not even say that. Things that are getting investments seem like one, they don't even have a product, or two, it's just vaporware. It's just an idea that's not built. The ugly truth that Chris and I have come to a realization is, at the end of the day, it just comes to branding and marketing. Like, look at Last Born with these NFTs and different projects. They had amazing branding and marketing. People ate that shit up, whether they had something or not. Because one thing I'm also realizing with human psychology, they want something that they don't have, but once it's there, it kind of is like, all right, cool. So it's like, I think that's the ugly truth. I'm not sure if it's with all aspects. Again, you can go outside and look at it from a different point of view and different.
I don't know, bro. Sorry to cut you off. I think it is with every aspect. I mean, we talk about it with cars. Like, you always wanted this nice car and you get it, and then you're just like, well, I want this one now. Or some people are like this with men and women. They get the girl of their dreams, they get her. It's not really hyped up as it seems to be, and they want someone else. But yes, it's human psychology. I do agree with what you're saying. Like, you know, people seem to want, like, I mean, you said it best. You said it best.
Yeah, even our mentor, Marlon, it's so funny. I went to the OTC 2 weeks ago, and he said something. He was pitching, years ago, his company. And funny enough, it's very similar to what Chris and I, when we first pitched at Georgia Tech, we were the only pure blockchain company there solving a real world problem. And the judges were like, why are you going after the big guys? Why? Years later, the stuff that we said was going to happen is happening. And now they're like, oh, it is what it is. But what he had not only a business, a profitable business, a profitable revenuing business with employees, yet everyone else were pitching a business that didn't exist, or it was a competitor that had that had the idea of what he already built, and they went for that. And I'm like, again, it's just human psychology. It's like, well, if I would have like look at it and say, okay, well, it's already out and it's already working, I can't maximize my ROI. Maybe, I don't know. But again, again, if I were to start over again, I would definitely probably, because, and that's the thing I see, because I know how Chris and I are, we know we can build. We have receipts. We've proven it. Like, we don't just build. We build working, functional product that is solving a problem. Chris says this beautiful quote I love. He's building with a purpose. He's not just building stuff. I'm sure he's building stuff on the side. That's fine. But like, when he's actually building, it's for a purpose. It's for a reason. Like, he sees something that other people don't, or something that can be more efficient, and is actually building it. Yet, when I'll speak for myself, when I see the crypto landscape, it's either there's an idea, this is what we want to build, invest in us, or this crazy, and like, even me reading, I'm like, this is not, this is, I don't want to say it's impossible. It's like, this is not feasible. But that team, whether they know it or not, they understand human psychology, branding, marketing, and hype. I remember last season, like, it was like, I don't even remember what it was. There was some NFT product in like Frog Boys or something, and I thought it was dope. They hyped it up. They got the Island Boys to do a little cameo. And the person I am, I was like, talking to the people in Telegram, and I became a community mod. And then I got into the circle, I got into their admin chat, and my heart sunk because I was telling all these people, yo, come in here. It was a rug pull. I'm like, oh my God. And they wanted to build out this video game and whatnot. They didn't have anything. It was just vaporware. And it's like, time and time again, when Chris and I are pitching, we've showed the product market fit, or the product's already out. Like, it's built. But The ugly truth is, if we were to start it over again, we ain't building shit. We're gonna have this big ass idea, yeah, $1 billion. Let's have an idea, then get funded, then act. But the thing is, in reverse, we know we can build it. 9 times out of 10, no one's building anything, and I'm not like downplaying anyone. It's just I'm just looking at it, and it's like there's nothing there. Like, and it's hard. We know it's hard because we're builders, and it's like, yeah, you have this grand vision. There's nothing new under the sun, but it's like when the time gets tough and you actually have to start building, that's when you really truly see who's about it or not. So that's the ugly truth. That's the hard truth, and I said it. Like, it's all about branding and marketing and hype. If you can do that, you can generate revenue. But now the other side of it is, okay, are you actually trying to solve a problem? Like, what is the goal? Chris and I's goal in our foundations has always been build a solid foundation, build products that actually work, solve a problem, educate people, and just be consistent. And then because of those things I just said, we're now integrating with the largest companies. And the beautiful thing is because of our dedication and consistency, monetarily, it can only get you so far. You can buy a Forbes article and all these things, but there are partnerships that you legitimately cannot buy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you fling $1 billion. If you don't have a legitimate, credible product, they're not going to partner with you. So that's the ugly truth. It is what it is. But like I said, now what I know now, when the market is hot, Chris and I, we're gonna go dumb with the marketing. But the beautiful thing is we have a product that works.
Yeah. I think for me, the ugly truth on my side is, and you already said it, is like, when things get rough, people leave. People, they don't stick around, you know. Um, and I get it, things get rough. You not sure if, it's a lot of uncertainty, but Van and I are here for a long time. I was telling someone in the chat, I'm like, look at Apple when they first came out and their stock, and look how flat their stock came out, like how flat their stock was. Their stock was flat, for relatively flat, for decades before things start to really push off. And not saying that our liquid token is going to take decades. I'm really hoping it doesn't, but I don't know. We don't know. But that doesn't mean to just give up. That doesn't mean to just stop. Yeah, it's been a year, but at the end of the day, like, a year in the startup, like, bro, on average, it takes 5 years for a startup to really pop off, and the average millionaire is in their 50s. I just turned 35, so it's like, I'm here. I'm here, and if anyone, um, I again, I can't stress it enough. Like, if you feel like that you can't stick around, like, I mean, that's cool. I'm not mad at that. But I am. What gets me frustrated is also my superpower, is when people tell me like, "Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, everything's down. So, is it over, bro?" That's you just hyping me up. Like, my superpower is when you tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna tell you. Watch me. That's all I have to say. Just watch
Hold my beer.
me. Hold my beer, because it's like I get that all the time. Like, underdogs, being an underdog, but it's cool. I love it. It keeps me going. You know, the stuff that Van and I have built because of how we feel when it comes to being underdogs, like, it only pumps me up. So
Yeah, guys. Yeah, when we start that series, don't know when we're gonna start it, but you're gonna see, like, bro. And that's one thing. The ugly truth. Another ugly truth. One thing that I did notice, like all of these crypto projects, they're just projects. Like, guys, we're not a project. We are a company. So like these projects come and go, but like a company, if you're a company, well, most companies or most startups don't succeed, but the ones that do, they stick around, like through the thick and the thin. And we're still here 3 years in, 4 years in, and it takes an average five. And like I said, I think wish I had that meme of that dude. I'm about to But guys, like man, like I think the people who okay, it's always funny. Like you always people want to get advice from people who haven't done it, guys. And I'm not trying to like sound like no Andrew Tate or nothing, but like guys, even if you've never built a company or like I don't, what you're telling me has no value to me because it's like if you haven't been through what Chris and I have been through, I'm just gonna respectfully either not even comment or just give you a thumbs up because it's not valuable information, guys. And that's one thing too that I thought was really interesting. It's like you see all these influencers or social medias or projects always on typing on social media, being keyboard warriors. I'm like, when the hell do you guys have time to build? That's a red flag to me. Like if you're on, and I get it, unless you have like a intern or someone typing on social media for you, I get it. But when I see the founders or the technical team talking their asses off, I'm like, bro, what are you like? You're clearly not building anything because if you have, because like what I'm saying, it won't even make any sense to you guys because you've never done it. And I'm not saying that to downplay it. It's like a perfect example is something simple like, going to the gym or taking an exam or driving. Okay, let's make it simple. Driving a car. If you've never driven one before, you're going to be scared, right? And that's with anything. You don't know what to do, but as you build that muscle, as you be consistent, as you keep doing it, it becomes like second nature. And we know what it takes because we're still doing it. And we are in an environment where there are like-minded people who are also building. Shout out to Tia. Shout out, hey, Docu Hero, shout out to you. Honestly, shout out to every single cohort 1 through 8 at the Atlanta Blockchain Center who went to the cohort. But a special shout out to the ones who are still here because we get it. Trust me, because we're still here. Don't want to rant, but if you've never created if you never launched a token, if you never built a protocol, if you never built a liquid staking protocol, if you never hand built infrastructure, don't talk to me, bro, because it's like you're wasting my time. Like, be being real here, guys. I'm being real. Like, I see people. We trust me, guys. We read everything. It's like, bro, like you see us, we're here. We ain't going anywhere. I could promise you. There are controllables, right? One thing that I've been learning, and I've expressed this for Chris, is one, sharing my emotions. I don't really do that. Just express myself because there's a lot of assumptions. People assume that's just normal. But two, um, I lost my train of thought. Share my emotions as well as forgot where I was going with this, but it'll come back to me. It'll come back. What the second part I was going to say was fire. At least I thought it was in my head again, guys. I didn't really have much sleep last night. Why? Yeah, again, I was up with our partner Shinpei. Again, we're fully integrated with them. So fraudulent activity happened over the weekend, so just trying to reconcile that and some stuff, but it's been rectified. But that's no here or there. But oh yeah, I forgot what it was. Anyways, we can it'll come back, but I know it had to do about the ugly truth, um, and about having a startup. But yeah. Oh, here goes my son. Hey, come here, Mason. He's wearing a liquidation shirt. Come here, Mason. Show them your shirt. Stupid. Shh, I'm on a live stream, show. Show them your shirt, buddy. Liquidation. All right. So the next one is going to be NFQ2, a look at back in the 90 days. You want to take that over, Chris?
Yeah. So end of Q2, how I see it is, we've again just been full build mode. Van and I working with our partners at SoonPay and other partners, getting connected with them. Now with SoonPay being out in the Android and Apple Store, there's going to be more and more transactions happening with them. So that's going to be really exciting and amazing. So things are really, really starting off to a good start, excuse me. And so for us, our at least how I see it, our vision for the next quarter is really kickstarting this new app. I've been building on this again countless hours. Actually, didn't go to sleep till 6 in the morning today, and 4 a.m. And yeah, stayed up pretty late consistently. But I can share the application. Let's do okay. And so, all right. So here is what Liquid Agent is going to look like, what it's going to be. The first thing that you notice is now users are going to have their own home, their home, basically home base. Um, Again, when I first started this, I envisioned Liquid Agent to be more like something that's simplified for users that will, again, I always say if a 7-year old or 87-year old can interact with blockchain interactions or get into, crypto, then that is a very solid product. But the first thing was figuring out how I wanted to lay out the page in the first place. And so I thought of how uh, different financial hubs they have, wellness, not wellness, but like wealth management platforms. They want to make it feel homey, and so I re rebuilt the application to look like that. So you have your home, which you have your account. Your account is going to be in USDC. And when you first create an account, you can log in with your Rabby wallet or MetaMask. You can log in with, I believe, with your email as well. And so once you do either your email or your Web3 wallet, you'll end up getting an agent wallet as well as uh, yeah, you'll get an agent wallet, and the agent wallet would be EVM and Solana. Um, and so from there, once you have your agent wallets, um, you are able to go back to the home, and then you can purchase USDC, or you can simply deposit USDC from your wallet that you connected with. And from there, you'll have a gateway, which I call it, where your USDC will go into that gateway. This essentially allows for the balances, the USDC balances, to all come together. So if you can send USDC on Base, you can send USDC on Solana, AVAX, Arbitrum, you name it. It all gets collected in this one gateway. And so from there, you're able to interact with some of the uh, different widgets that you have. So, for example, I have my savings and I have stocks. I can also add widgets. So, if I wanted to add contacts, I can do so. Um, I could also add insights as well, and a few others. With the contacts, you're free to add, I believe, up to 50 contacts. So you can add your name or a name for somebody. You can add their wallet address or their ENS, and an email, which is optional for that individual. And once you do that, then you're able to send USDC to that person directly, or you can put in an ENS or an address. So if I do, let's say, projectpi.eth, then the ENS will pop up for that person. And so from there, or rather, the address will pop up for for the ENS. And so from there, if you're connected to your account using your wallet, you'll need you have your liquid. If you have liquid, you'll need to add Ethereum on L1 to be able to do it. To purchase liquid, um, we can go to the savings page. And so the savings page, you have a choice between three different, at least right now, three different volts between Moonwell, Yo, and Fluid. And you can see that I have some in each. You have basically a chart that shows you the last 7 days of, your activity for each asset, or rather for each volt. And you can deposit and withdraw at any time. The deposit and the withdrawals are free. We do take a portion of the yield that comes in, and so from there we added the invest, and so individuals can come here and they can freely invest into CoinX, Circle, or not CoinX, Coinbase, Circle, Nvidia, um, the Nasdaq 100, and Tesla for now. And by doing that, you're able to invest in stocks that want to hold on to, keep for a long time. The cool thing is if you hold liquid, the fees are reduced for not only the savings as far as like the yield that we receive as a fee, but also when purchasing the stocks, you're saving a little bit more when you hold liquid. So, for example, let's see if I have to. We'll try here. We'll do 25 cents and purchase Nvidia. I'm still working on this, so there would probably be a little bit of some bugs, but for the most part, you're able to purchase stocks using your USDC, and it is as simple as just typing in the amount that you want to invest, and then you put it in. But you can see that I went from 26 cents to 56 cents, so it does work. um, and the cool thing is, and I'll explain it a little later, is how the gateway performs the interactions when it comes to the stocks, or the savings. The next thing is the insights. Now, the insights is something that we use since, or we had since the beginning with the first version of Liquid Agent. Essentially, you're able to um analyze any wallet. You're able to see every time that person purchased or sold, within that wallet for a specific asset. But we were limited at first. We only did Ethereum layer one, Ethereum on base, and then Liquid. So we only had three. Now we've extended the variety to or the insights to uh, different networks that the token or that the wallet may have interacted with. So, for example, if I've interacted with Base with this wallet, then it should show up a few assets for Base, Polygon, Post Chain World, and more coming soon. But if I go back to Ethereum, it's going to scan my wallet, and then if I click Ethereum, I can get insights. And you can analyze any wallet that you want. It's built from your USDC balance. The small font says that you're only when the analysis succeed. Failures are free, and rerunning the same wallet is free for 24 hours. If you have liquid, if you're holding liquid, then you get a fee discount. Um, and so I've already analyzed this wallet, so I get a full day for free. And so this is my wallet. This is the Ethereum layer one. and you can see every time I made a purchase, every time I sold Ethereum. At the top here, it shows 162 transfers before March 2021, which is not charted. The chart, I believe, only deals with just a 1 year, but your all the information is there. And so you can also see not only the received and sent, the average buy, the average sell, in the dash line here. You get your cash flow, so you can see your dollar cost average, your realized and unrealized P&L, how much you've invested, the current value, your ROI, as well as a downloadable PDF, so you can come back anytime and download your PDF, and it will tell you the report of everything you've done with the specific asset within your wallet. Uh, you know, it's my wallet, so it spans back to 2021. But you can do any wallet. You can also do ENS. So if you had, let's say, um, an ENS name, then you're able to do that as well. And so, the reason why we kept the Insight Center is because Insights, in my eyes, is very important for an individual to see what's going on, what they're doing at all times. You have platforms like Coin Tracker and Coinly and a few other like tax-based platforms that allow you to see every transaction that you've done, but they don't give you a full interactive experience when it comes to analyzing your wallet. And then you also have to pay a lot per month to be able to analyze your wallet. I think on average, individuals are spending hundreds of dollars to be able to analyze their wallets and all the assets that they hold. With our platform, it's $1 per analysis, but if you hold a certain amount of liquid, then um, that cuts down. You get a discount in the process. Um, and so that's the insights. Now, um, before I go into the intelligence piece, I'm gonna go into the settings and then just kind of talk about the kind of the inner workings of the USDC gateway. If you notice, I purchased stocks without any Solana. The stocks are derived from StockX. And if you notice, there is no changing of the networks on this platform. Um, it's just like it's a really feel good moment for me to finally figure out how to like actually get everything working when it comes to Liquid performing in a way where users do not have to click on switching networks or clicking on you know, just being able to switch the networks. I feel like that intent, like that should already be baked into the system. I believe that when it comes to the future of blockchain and the technology as far as onboarding, um, it has to be so easy that you strip away a lot of the things that we were doing back in 2021 or back in 2017. I think that taking away that network or change network aspect is going to be a really huge deal. And so with that, the platform, as you can see, most of it is being used with USDC. We use the USDC gateway, which basically unifies all of the USDC that comes into the agent wallet automatically. And so with that, it doesn't matter if you send USDC on Solana or USDC on Base, USDC on AVAX, Polygon, you name it, it's going to be unified into one single balance. And so from there, when you first deposit USDC into the account, you'll you'll So a huge portion is going to go into the unified gateway, but a small portion is going to be left in your agent wallet as gas. So the gas is also going to be paid in USDC and not the layer one token. And so with that, a person deposits, let's say USDC on Solana. A small portion of the USDC on Solana stays in your agent wallet on Solana, and then the remaining goes into the gateway. From there, you're able to use different avenues such as the savings with that same USDC on Solana, because now it's in the gateway. It doesn't matter, uh, what network it came from, as long as it's still the USDC. So from that, I'm able to use investment vehicles that derived from base. I can use the rest investment vehicles that came from Solana or anywhere else. And so with that, uh, there's a few innovative things inside of Liquid Agent that makes all of this work. Again, being able to deposit USDC on Base or USDC on Arbitrum, and then being able to purchase stocks that derive from Solana without paying gas or without worrying about bridging is a huge deal. And so we strip away a lot of the complexity when it comes to blockchain activity. And so that is essentially a huge portion of Liquid Agent right now. Um, this should be live very soon. The last piece is the intelligence. More likely going to change the name, but essentially individuals that want to participate on the poly market 5 minute up and down, they'll be able to do so. Everything is live, so they'll be able to see the prices going up and down in real time. They'll have their own deposit wallet, which they'll be able to deposit PUSD. Polygon chain, not Polygon, Poly Market changed their token because now they have their own token. They used to use USDC.E on Polygon. They now have PUSD. So with that, individuals will be able to come in and actually be able to trade in real time. But with that, again, this is Liquid Agent. It's called intelligence for a reason. We don't want people to just come in and trade blindly. I've been working on a poly market bot for the last 3 or 4 months now that at one point had a pretty high win rate. Since then, the win rate has fluctuated just because the edge changes over time. As more and more individuals got into the 5 minute up and down, they understood how things worked, found their own edge, and so it kind of diluted the overall strategy or strategies that I've came up with. I'm currently on I believe version 39, 38 or 39 right now. But the main strategy in itself, um, will be integrated into a bot that would, I feel like in V1, I'll probably end up adding in the signals for individuals to look at, to where it could help the user to be able to make better decisions on their trades. I think for a V2 version, individuals would be able to directly use the bot, which at that point will have a pretty nice, not only a nice win rate, but a nice EV or expected value. Um, I can actually showcase um, the signals, the what I've been working on. Um, this page here is my signals page, which basically would be added into the intelligence page. And so basically it would give signals of where it thinks the, you know, the up or down is going to go based off of just some analytics and some stuff that I've been working on for the last 4 months. Um, like for example, in this window, it shows a signal that The up was it was a strong signal on up, and then there was another strong signal that pushed. I'm not going to sit and look at this the whole time, but you can see again that this information, it shows the same information that you see on Liquid Agent, um, but this page has the actual signals where you can actually see like what's going on in real time, and if there actually is a particular edge for each market that comes in, it should be able to detect it and then be able, you can make your decisions from there. Um, and so um, that's the intelligence page, the signal intelligence page for the 5 minute up and down. We still have the purchase liquid. Going to be working on this page a little bit more, but essentially individuals can purchase liquid directly on the page to get um, fees off of their insights, as well as investment fees when they purchase or when they withdraw, as well as on the savings. Um, they save a little bit in the actual what is it? Not the deposit and withdrawals, but when there's actually yield coming into the system. You can purchase with Ethereum. You can also purchase with USDC. Now, the liquid piece would be for now um, the only thing where you would need to bring your own gas, because liquid is still on Ethereum. But as in the future, I can see this also being gasless. Either you would cover your own gas through the gateway, particularly with USDC, or the gas on Ethereum will be so much lower that we would cover the gas for you. But essentially, we want this platform to be stripped away of all of the complexities that we normally see when it comes to um, just different platforms that you see today, where you have to switch networks, you have to cover gas, you have to bridge your own assets to use certain products. This platform strips away most of the gas, most of the bridging. I mean, if you think about it, the home page, when you deposit your USDC, you you essentially have a wallet. Your agent wallet has an auto bridge feature inside of the wallet itself. So whenever you send money to your agent wallet, if you want to send back to your wallet but send in another asset, you'll be able to do so as well. So you don't have to go to, a bridge to be able to do that. You simply just send it to your agent wallet and then be able to send it back out. As simple as that. That's only if you want to is an option, extra options for you. Um, and so with that, you still have the purchase liquid, and then if you still have your staking aspect, so individuals can stake liquid and earn a decent portion of the tax, because the liquid token in itself is still a tax token for right now. But individuals, they participate with purchasing liquid. They can stake their liquid and then be able to earn a portion of the tax that we actually allocated to the community. So 75% of all of the tax now is um, um, allocated to the community. And so with that, um, this is the new liquid agent. Um, it will be coming out soon, and I can't wait to see how individuals are able to use this. The last thing that I'll be doing with the insights page is I'm going to make a X402 endpoint for AI agents to also be able to take part in the insights for wallet analysis. So an agent can come and use our endpoint and then be able to get an analysis for any asset, uh, for any wallet that they want. That will be one of the last features that I add within the next few days. And so that is the new Liquid Agent, the financial hub for accessible Web3.
Chris, guys, that was phenomenal. That's a lot. Yeah, so we're very excited and can't wait to actually push out the new code so you guys can test it out and give us feedback. But yeah, heading to Q3, guys, we're gonna just keep building. What's up and next ahead? Don't know. Like I said, we're always Chris and I always have daily talks to see what's happening. Micro, like I'll be sending him blogs or medium articles or LinkedIn articles of like, yo, look in Nvidia, they're doing this, yo, AI. Look at Cracking, Coinbase, like look, they're doing like the stock stuff, doing pre-stock. So we're just very aware of what's happening. And if it makes sense to implement or even make it something even better, that'll be great. But yeah, Q3 again, just heads first, seeing what works. Um, Again, I do want to start that series. Don't know when that's going to happen. We did sign. Well, we didn't sign it yet. We'll talk about it here shortly, maybe the next live stream or not behind the scenes. But signed a potential contract with a dope company. But yeah, so that was everything a year building from an internal tool to launching the liquid last year to going to DC to going to Uganda, partnering with ZoonPay, partnering with OVH Cloud, partnering with Standard Crypto way back when, um, partnering with Circle, man, teaching the cohorts, building, iterating, seeing different mechanisms, gases functions, being able to switch between different chains, utilizing your ENS domain. Oh man, like we can just keep going on and on and on, guys. But yeah, that's where we're headed to, guys. We're headed to the moon. When is that going to be happening? Don't know. But again, we're still here. It's going to happen. I can feel it. And like I said, Chris and I are here for a good line, for a good time. No, sorry, we're here for a long time, not a good time. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining our live stream. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to reach out to us on Telegram. Um, Again, Fully Docs. You see my name, find me, hit me up, LinkedIn, whatever. You see Chris, hit him up. We're always here. Again, we may not reply right away, always busy. But if you want to contact me, just give us on Telegram, email me, and we'll reply. But thank you guys. Oh, well, do you have any closing remarks at all, Chris?
Um, Actually, this time I really don't. But I will say, um, it's a year in the making. I know that it's better late than never. I know that there were some setbacks, a lot of like, um, delays when it comes to how Liquid Agent was going to either be built out or how we were going to do things, as well as SoonPay and their side and getting things working. But things are coming together, things are working. We're finally um, seeing everything really start to take off, and it's really awesome. And it's also a lot, I'll say, because it's all taking off at once. So, with that is like we're constantly delegating our time to, work on as much as we can on and what we can and what we can't do. We know our limits, but at the same time, we're here to push. We're here to continue to keep going, and we're for it. We're ready.
Yes, yes. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. Cheers to a live stream V12. And thank you guys again so much for joining us. You guys have a good one. Chris and Van signing off. Peace.
Peace.